I'm mystic healer Sonja Grace. I work long distance all over the world on health issues, emotional trauma and wounds, mental dysfunction, and spiritual guidance. I'm like a surgeon who goes in and repairs hearts and livers, kidneys, illness and disease on an energetic level. As a child, I trained as a classical ballerina and went on to dance and act at the Oregon Shakespeare Festival for a decade. My favorite play was Romeo and Juliet. Each week, I'm sharing the parallels of two star-crossed lovers and their love with today's love and the desire to heal the heart. As a mystic healer, I'm looking at patterns and cycles of love and karma all day long. This play provides so many different aspects of humanity that we can experience it over and over again and still ponder the depth of truth that Will Shakespeare provided. We pick up in our story where Juliet begs the tired nurse to tell her about her Romeo. The nurse finally gives in and shares with Juliet that she is to be wed that afternoon. They meet at the chapel and Friar Lawrence urges Romeo to love modestly and not with too much intensity. These violent delights have violent ends. The friar has a vision and recognizes how powerful Romeo's love is. As a mystic, he sees how destructive that love can become if not expressed in moderation. I'm sure there are many people in the world who've experienced the darker side of love. This is growing up in a dysfunctional family and experiencing alcoholism, drug abuse, physical abuse, mental abuse, and emotional abuse, which can lead us to dysfunction in our relationships if they go untended. So what do we do when we find ourselves in relationship with people who manipulate and abuse us? The nurse in the story is quite manipulative, and although comes across playful and a bit eccentric, her playfulness has an edge of abuse. Juliet is frantic to know what has happened with Romeo, and yet the nurse plays with her and wants to tease her and withhold the information. When we tease and manipulate children, we are creating a situation that brings distrust. As adults, when we find ourselves in abusive relationships and ask why, we have to go back to the original template of which we imprinted. From the time we're in the womb until we're 3 years old, all of our parents' psychology becomes our psychology. We imprint everything, good, bad, and otherwise, from our parents. We also bring lifetimes of unresolved emotional wounds. All of this becomes the very template from which we work through our karma in this lifetime. If we grew up in a family where there was alcoholism or abuse, it is more than likely we're going to recreate that as adults. It's not until we start doing the inner work that we can heal this and manifest a different experience. We have to think about patterns and cycles repeating over and over. Let's say a pattern has 4 emotions in it. The first one is feeling excited. The second one is feeling disappointment. The third is feeling despair. And the fourth is feeling abandonment. I like to do pattern wheels to better understand where we are repeating over and over. For example, if a person feels excited, let's take it all the way back to childhood. They're a baby lying in the crib, feeling totally excited. Mom and dad are there, and they're gonna pick them up. But they don't get picked up. The parents go into the other room to do something else, and the child feels completely disappointed. And the third emotion in the pattern is the child feels despair because mom and dad aren't coming back. And the fourth feeling is abandonment because now the baby is crying and no one has come back in the room. Remember, what a baby or small child experiences is not the same as an adult. A child is going to think 5 minutes in timeout is like an eternity. All of us being sequestered at home in a permanent timeout gives us a better understanding of our own inner child. Let's call in all the angels and ask for a healing. Let's ask the angels to help us with our empathic abilities. All of you out there who are intuitive and feel things deeply, let's ask the angels to help everyone to have healthy boundaries, to respect and love the inner child, to recognize your empathic nature, and to take care of that, and ask all the angels to protect you and guide you and help heal you. I look forward to seeing you next time when I talk about responsibility and how it's best we don't stand in the street and yell, "A plague upon both your houses."